Out me ducks, just testing it's working. I just went through it all on the bongs. I did the out me ducks, how are we? And it said stream is not working. It did that a few times during quarantine streams, but it hasn't done it for ages. So yeah, but we seem to be on now, and I'm appearing on my iPad as well. Wow, there's 40 people here already waiting. Lovely to see everybody. We all got a cuppa. Feels like a while since we've done a cuppa and catch up, doesn't it? So let's see who we've got in the room. We have Selkie. Hi Selkie, somewhere in Hi Caroline, I've watched your live again today. I know it was a long time ago, but I've been really working with playing cards, and I remember you talking in your live about playing cards, so I watched it again. It was your first kind of route into divination, working with playing cards way before tarot, so that was really cool. Natasha, Giselle, hello Giselle, Sue, Ellie, Naomi, hi Naomi, Robin, and Althena, hello Pat. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hope you're doing okay. Melissa, TikTok, Shane, morning Shane, Chantel, Charmed, Stray Cat, Chris, hi Chris, and Angeline, Becoming the Crone, Patrice, who else have we got? Shea Sparkles, Jen, hi Jen, Zane, hello Zane, Debbie, hi Debbie, Merrick, Tamaya, good to see you again, Beyond Tarot with Thace, the Pure Spiritualist. That's a really long title, Thace, but hello Thace, good to see you. John T, Sun to Shine, and who else? Book White, hello. Misty, Jody, Modesty, Intuitive Renee, Laurie, Shea, Shafali, El Wasson, Dawn Cooper, Kimberly, hi Kimberly, Tarot Tales, you're doing great, good Pat, Moonfae, Melanie, Rebecca S, Anne's, wow, it's like roll call, it's like first day back at school, isn't it, after the summer. Raven Song, Susan, hello Susan, Andrea, hello Andrea, Elaine, good to see you Elaine, Fibro, Active, is that my old school friend with the A up me duck? Is that what your channel's called? Not gonna say your name in case it's not. Jalama, Tammy Pie, and you're welcome, Caroline. I enjoyed seeing it again. You need to do more. Why did you stop? Abundant Life Tarot. Synchronicity, you'll see why. Masha, maybe I'll shorten it, says Thace. It's fine. Erin, Jackie, hello Jackie. You need to wake your daughter up. I needed her for a link, but Jen's going to help me out. Chelsea. Have I caught up yet? Julie. Orsi. It sure is. I thought it might be. Good to see you. Surely I've caught up. Let me sell. So I wonder if I can remember who I've said and I haven't. M40 Angel. Hello. Not seen you before. Chelsea, and I think I've caught everybody. Jody. So, welcome, welcome. It's lovely to see so many people here. I hope everybody's having a really good weekend. It's really naff here today. It is quite, even though I'm wearing a t-shirt, because I mean, it's middle of July, right? We should be in t-shirts and things. It's been quite cool, overcast. We've just had some rain. I've got a nice breeze coming in though. So that shirt, where did you get it? So Melissa, a few of us bought it. Elle's got one, Jen's got one, I think Shane got one. And all the proceeds, let me stand up. All the proceeds, you can see the things here, are split between National Bail Fund and also the Orca project. So it supports black trans people and also obviously for bailout money as well. So it was just something that we could do. I love the way it was linked with tarot. So Jen posted it into Facebook Messenger, and we all ordered one. So yeah, really good cause. And somebody asked me today, because I've been to the tattoo shop today. So my Pamela Coleman Smith tattoo that I had done back in February, I want to say, didn't take that well. So I contacted my tattooist and I said that I wanted it to be touched up, and it was all booked in, and then we had lockdown in March, and he emailed me on the Friday that I was supposed to be going in on the Saturday, and Friday was the day that Boris just shut everything down, and he said just get back in touch if and when we ever open, because everything was so uncertain back then. So I got in touch, because this Monday, hairdressers, and I think it was the 13th, was Monday the 13th, hairdressers and tattoo places like that could open with precautions in place. So I got in touch, and I should have gone, well, I did go yesterday, but he'd gone home and forgot about me. So I emailed him last night and he said, come along today. So he touched it up for me. So it is solid black again. I can never get my arm in that position to show you, so maybe it's easier if I just you just have to look at it upside down. But it's Pamela Coleman Smith's signature that is on all of the tarot cards, if there's any new people here. That's what the tattoo is. PCS Pamela Coleman Smith. Here she is, look, there's RL, strolling in, just got up, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I bet Jackie woke you, didn't she? So yeah, and I wanted to mention, because a few weeks ago, well, it's probably about a month or so ago now, I interviewed Jennifer from Sea Willow Herbs, and she sent me this tattoo balm. You can see it's a Sea Willow Herbs. Oh, it's amazing, really. And she said, you can use it for so many things. You don't just use it for tattoos, which I have done. It's had got quite a crater in there. But I've put some on the tattoo. I don't use bepanthen now, but it coats it lovely. And in this, I might need my magnifying glass because it's very, very small. But we've got wild-crafted chickweed oil, organic coconut oil, organic shea butter, organic cocoa butter, organic calendula oil, I've not heard of that, and organic extra virgin olive oil, beeswax, organic vitamin E, and organic essential oils of lavender, peppermint, tea tree, and it just smells with all that absolutely amazing. So thank you, Jennifer, because you sent me that over a year ago, and it's a really decent size. So do check out her Etsy shop as well, because she sells all these products, and yeah, it's nice to be able to use them and smell divine. So I paused the chat because I saw a comment. Caroline says, Simon, I have to get back to my channel again with my sister having cancer. So many things in the past year. Totally understand. And, life takes priority, doesn't it? And when I hope you don't think me just when I say things like, oh, you should make videos again. I have to be mindful as well, just because I enjoy the content, that other people have got other priorities. And yeah, I hope you know that I wasn't kind of putting any pressure on. You need to be where you need to be in supporting your loved ones. Can you put a link to comments description? Comments description? I'm not quite sure. Oh, if you're talking about the t-shirt, Jen, if you're in the chat, would you be able to put a link? Because you're the one that sent the link to us, aren't you? But I'm not sure if it's still available. It was a limited run. Oh, Jen's put, I first saw it posted by Havana on the Indie Deck review page, I believe. Love the tattoo, thank you. Yeah, I had it a while, but do you know when I did my Tarathon slot, which was on Pixie, I really wanted to show it, but I really was upset the way it turned out because it did scab over, but it was all blotchy, and I wasn't happy with it. In fact, if I show you, because I had to send a picture to my tarot guy, sent items. And I've got the Wombles. I was in Becca's chat last night. I was talking about 70s children's programs, and I posted links in there. And then I went down a rabbit hole last night before bed of watching all theme tunes to 70s children's programs. And I was like, let's watch all these. Yeah, so okay, so this is how, it might be too bright as well, but can you see, no, that's fine. Look, can you see how it went? And I was like, oh no, that's awful. So he touched it back up for me, and now it's nice and black again. So let's get back to chat. I need to plug in as well. Everything's got to last because I've got another live tonight. More about that later. Let's see if I missed any other comments. I can't see my name highlighted, so yeah. So have we all got a cuppa? Are we all sitting comfortably? Should we have a bit of a chat, talk about cards and stuff? I want to do a channel shout out, and I had no idea that this person would be in the chat today, but I wanted to shout out our Kim from Abundant Life Tarot. I really love your channel, Kim. There's just something so calming and relaxing, and it's like checking in with a friend. And when I see that you've put, I don't always leave comments. I always try and leave comments. I always like videos, but I don't always leave comments. But when I see that you've posted a video, I love to make a cuppa, and either if it's first thing in the morning, sit in bed or sit on the couch and just watch your content, because your voice is wonderful and you've just got such a presence on camera, and I really enjoy your stuff. So yes, Kim is really great. She's so calming, she really is. And thank you for the links. So I will put a link in for the t-shirt if you're interested in the t-shirt, and remember, it's supporting a tremendous cause, 2 tremendous causes. And Jen has put a link to Kim's channel, so do check out Abundant Life Tarot. You're seriously making me smile. You're welcome. You know, I always look for channels, and normally, you know, I'll promote channels that are quite new, and I know you've had yours for a couple of years, but I always, if I'm really enjoying content as well, and people are doing consistent content, then I don't mind shouting out some older channels either. So I'm not sure what that's about fur babies. You can't currently buy the t-shirt right now, but you can indicate interest, so they might bring it back. Well, that's good to know. I did remember it being a limited sort of edition. Oh, good. People are subbing. Lovely. So yeah, so what's been happening? Well, there's going to be a giveaway today at the end of the broadcast. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So more about that later. All these lovely people subbing. But you know what I'm like, I go through these kind of phases where a few months ago it was all about Owen, and I really love that. But that's life, isn't it? It's about learning things and progressing. But I'm really loving working with playing cards at the moment. And it was when I got this book by Stephen Ball, who's actually joined the Hermit's Cave now, which is lovely. Stephen's partner commented on the YouTube video saying, yeah, it's a really great book, but I'm biased. I'm married to him. And then Stephen joined the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, but he brought out this playing card divination book. And he was the person who brought out the elemental divination, which was about working with dice. So really, really good books. And I'm loving reading this. I love the system that he's come up with and the stories behind, because there are stories as well as divination interpretations behind the cards. And then Marsha over at Musings by Marsha talked about, she did a video which was her favourite playing card decks. And I'd done that during one of the Quarren streams. But she mentioned hers, and I'd not heard of it, and it's the Provo Tarot. See where my mind's at? Playing card deck. And it's available from Flanoir, where I get a lot of decks from, or have got a lot of decks from. And these are amazing. So when she showed them, I was like, oh, you get this little book? But the cards are gorgeous. They're like Il Meneghello. They're kind of like beautiful art paper. They're completely plain on the back, but they feel amazing. So they're plain and rough on the back, and on the front, I don't know if the light will pick it up, they have like a little linen-y texture, but the quality of these cards are gorgeous. There's no numbers on them. So Caroline, who's in the room, who is very proficient at reading with playing cards, I'm going to test myself. At the end, I always do a 1-card pull. I'm going to pull some playing cards. So don't be kind with me, because I'm kind of learning with playing cards, and but I thought it might be nice. Let me show you some of the quartz as well, because what I love about the quartz are the blues. Look at that. Simon got a link. I can't put links in while I'm doing this, but there might be somebody in the chat it can. But if you go to Flanoir, you know where we buy the Dodal and stuff like that, then it's listed there. And the way you have to order there, you have to put an expression of interest in. So you don't just pick it and it goes to your basket. You choose it, you buy it, and then they email you with a link to PayPal, and you follow the link and you buy it that way, and then it comes really quick. This came in less than a week, and it came from Europe. So, but I love it. I think it is beautiful. So thank you, Marsha, as well, for showing me this question. A few days ago, I got the deck of Character Oracle. I've not heard of that. No, I tell a lie. I think I have heard of it, but I've not seen it. I then found your video about the deck from last December, in which you did a quick reading. I don't have the deck of Character. Do you mean the deck of the Bastard? The deck of Character. Part 2. The reading was stunningly accurate. Do you find yourself working with that deck? If so, have you enjoyed working with it? Well, it's gone from my memory. So, the deck of Character. Oh, You're talking about the 3-card system. You're talking, it's a card game, isn't it? Like an oracle that's, I know what you mean. You're referring to this little deck. I haven't used this for ages. I saw this on Kash's channel, Tarot Map. But yeah, this is quite cool. So it's a little card game. You've got your cards here that give you the instructions, and you have them split into places. So all your cards for places. There's quite a few places. And then you have characters. And you make like a story with it. And then you have tools. And there's lots of tools. So they're not even piles. So if we was to take a place, it's a house under construction, and a character, master, and tools, we've got compass. And then you do a reading. So, you know, you could think about, you know, perhaps having to go on a journey somewhere to build, you know, a new life, a new home, to become master of your own domain and control of your life. Or you might want to enlist the help of a master to, you know, design or help design your new home, your new abode. So that's kind of how the cards work. But no, I haven't read with these for ages. Probably since about Christmas time. Thank you for reminding me. Who was it that reminded me? Sheer Sparkles. Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, that would totally be a reading for me. I'll take it. You're welcome. So yeah, so I've really been playing with cards, playing cards recently as well, and I've been enjoying that. So I will have a go at reading some cards at the end for our reading. The deck of character, quite a genius way of using the little card game. Okay, I wonder if I can somehow squeeze that past my depth year. Yes, I think you can, because it's a different system. It's not like you're adding to Oracle or you're adding to Tarot. You know, it's something completely new. So, and you can go into depth with it because it's new. Do you see how I justify things? I just saw a comment then. Just received my Shimmering Veil tarot after watching your walkthrough. It is beautiful. Oh, Shimmering Veil. Oh, I love it. I've done a reading with it this morning. Talk about a mix with the elements as well. Look at this. Earth, fire, and air. So 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and 4 of Swords. All right, mixed bag today. You're asking the king of enabling himself. Oh, is that to Kim in terms of should I? See Caroline's comments above. Simon, I was also taught to do reversal by taking the deck and putting the letter T for top. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready for reversals. Yeah, maybe I'll just learn the right way. I don't mean that as in right, the opposite to wrong. I just mean the right way up. I suppose that still means the opposite to wrong, isn't it? But you know what I mean. Simon, I have a book. Don't know if it's available. It's called It's All in the Cards. It's about playing cards. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's quite a few books now, isn't there, that's available about playing cards. I wanted that one because of how much I love the Elemental divination book that he did. So what else has arrived this week? Well, our Brant from Moon Baby made me a tin for my Golden Rider. So I'm really enjoying these Make Playing card tins. As you can see here, I've got quite a few now. I think there's about 13 tins in there. And I wouldn't get a tin if I've got a beautiful box, you know, like Shimmering Veil. Well, they won't fit in the tin for Make Playing cards, but, you know, because they come in a lovely clamshell box. But I've never been a fan of little tuck boxes. I find them really difficult to tuck back in, and when you're trying to get the little book in and stuff like that. So what I tend to do is keep the tuck box, put the little white book in the tuck box, and then if it's a really favourite deck of mine, I put it inside a nice tin. Brant is my enabler big time. I can't afford to be enabled by Brant because his collection, you know, he pays a lot for his decks, or he gets really good deals on them where I would have to pay a lot for those decks. So I try not to be too enabled by him. Brant mentioned how we'd given a try on the Golden Rider tin for you. Can we see a close-up on it? Yes, it's a little bit lighter than the actual back because he had to do that because it was just off a scan. But he's done a really good job. And I like the kind of grainy matte finish to it as well. But isn't that a great back design? So if I find the deck, because it will be in one of these... oh, it's straight in the first one I look at. See, I still know where all my decks are, more or less. So, yeah, the actual back is a little bit darker, as you can see, but he still did a fantastic job and has to be one of my favourite card backs ever, the Golden Rider. Please tag the Hermit's Cave or put questions in caps for Simon to respond. Yeah, just like Jackie has there, what I see then... and not everybody gets why we ask that, so I'll show you. What I see is an orange highlight. So it catches my eye because it highlights it in orange. The only problem is, when I've watched chats back sometimes, people have put the Hermit's Cave as all one word, and it has to be exactly as it appears on the channel, even with the apostrophe S. And some people have even put at Simon, and that doesn't a highlight either. It has to be exact, character by character. Melissa Zupan, Brant just taught me into getting a copy of the Golden Rider. It arrived this week. Pretty nice, but I definitely need a new box. Well, now you could get a tin. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Golden Rider, it's now out of print. Went out of print about 4 years ago. It is a clone, I suppose, of the RWS, but it's redrawn and recoloured. But it's really nice, and it's got some beautiful colours, especially like the additions of pinks. I love the red sky behind the devil card, the death card. And it's got like a metallic feel to the back as well. And I edged mine, and people are like, oh, you're edging an out of print deck. But I know I'm never going to part with it, so it's just mine. It's just for me. Yeah, and it's really beautiful. Look at the pinks in the background with the sky, and here on the Knight of Pentacles. Really lovely. I'm thinking about shutting the window because it's getting a little bit noisy, isn't it? And look at the Ten of Swords. Look at the layers of colours. It's really lovely. The first copy of this I got, I could only get in French. It was a French edition. And then this was gifted to me by Tom Benjamin right early on when I first started a channel. One of my faves, says Al, I've got the first edition English edged in the pink and the mini. I can't believe you got the mini. I didn't even know there was a mini. I was like, there's a mini? Look at the sun there. Please be aware that the chat takes a minute to be checked, seen, and it can scroll quickly. Hopefully he'll go back to a question, Jody. Right, Jody. Let's have a look. Jody. The Hermit's Cave. See, that hasn't highlighted. Why is that then? Because you have done it right, but for yours there, it hasn't highlighted. The one above has, from Melissa. That's temperamental, isn't it? So that's why I missed it. Sorry, The Hermit's Cave. Do you recommend Stephen Ball's for beginners? If not, I was wondering if you could recommend some good beginner books for tarot. Stephen Ball, I don't think has done a tarot book. When I was talking about Stephen Ball, unless he has done one and I'm not aware of it, I was referring to his dice divination, which is elemental divination, or he's got the playing card divination books, and they're by Llewellyn. Let me see. Simon did have a backup copy of the Golden Rider, but sold it to offset the cost of his Carol Hertzer decks. How do you know that? Yeah, I had a backup of it. And it wasn't my first one. I traded Benabel Wen's original deck, the first deck, with Jessie Driscoll. And she lived in the same town as Carol Hertzer, and we traded for the Illuminated Tarot. And then I wanted the Starlight when I saw the quality now of the decks on the lovely thick cardstock. And I just like, how do I raise the money? And then somebody posted that they wanted the Golden Rider. So I put it up and yeah, I traded a backup. But this will be kept safe in my little tin, so all was well. I know that because I was this close to buying your Golden Rider. Oh yes. Yes, I think I can remember now. Oh, I never knew that, Shane. So if you're on a mobile, it will not tag. All those times I've thought I've been tagging people. It's only the last month or so I've been using my MacBook to go into lives because it's easier to tag people. Because it automatically, you only have to put the first two characters in. So if it's a long channel name, you put the first two characters in and it lists all the people you can tag. So, new tin with a deck. Now I need to find an RWS deck to go in this log box. I'm sure that won't be too hard. Simon, I lay out the whole entire 52 cards. If the client has blonde, brown, black hair, Queen has no ages. Oh, hold on. Simon, I lay out the whole entire 52 cards. If the client has blonde, brown, black hair, Queen has no ages. King 40 years and up. Jack is 40 and under. And see where they fall in the reading. Okay, I'm not quite sure about the hair thing though, but Hermit's Cave, the tins remove worry about fire sprinklers. That's a good reason to buy more, right? Yes, that's a good point. And I do have a Blushing Fool tin, so my Blushing Fool will be protected. I have to protect my number one deck. 123 people here. Wow. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Where can I pick up a tin? So, Pat, you go to makeplayingcards.com. However, you do need a design to be able to drag onto a tin. And if you're on Facebook, the Hermit's Cave group, under files, Melissa and Brant have both put some designs in there of tins that they've done in the past. I'll have to ask Brant actually if he wouldn't mind uploading this one to the Hermit's Cave group. That would be helpful. I need to write that down because there's no chance I will remember to ask him. So, Brant, Golden Rider tin to the Hermit's Cave. Simon, I guess you are inspiring me to get back to my channel now to teach and show. Yes, exactly. Exactly. When you're ready, obviously you've got a lot happening in your life at the moment, and that's where you need to put your priorities. But if you do find you have some downtime, you could always do a video about playing cards and teach us your knowledge, because you've been reading them for 35, probably more, 36 years. I know you was a young teenager when you started reading them, so I have a video on my channel how to make a tin. Here's a link to the one with the art printed directly onto the tin. Oh, you guys are the best. I've got an amazing team of moderators that really help out with all this stuff. And Jen says, click start your design and you're off to the races. Yeah, so what else? The other thing that's come, finally, is my mini Radiant Wise Spirit. What a job I have had to try and get this deck. It's like pre-order. Elle, do you remember when we was in a chat and I ordered this? Months and months ago. I even forgot and had to say to Elle once, did I actually order that deck? And she was like, yeah, you did. And then it was dispatched and it said it's on its way. So I was sitting there waiting. Then I got a refund a week later. And I'm like, how could it be dispatched? And then I get a refund. So I ordered it again. And then it said it had been dispatched. And I waited weeks, like 3 weeks. And it just arrived a few days ago. So I thought, well, here it is. So I thought we could have a look at it. What I did want to do is that and that. So the story so far, and I still remember raving about this deck back in 2017, I think, 2017, raving about this deck and nobody being particularly bothered about it. And then it went out of print and everybody was like, where can we get that deck? And at one time, I had 4 copies of this deck and now I'm down to this one. I gave one away for Tarathon last year. I sent one to Sandra at the Whispering Well. And the third one I traded for something. I can't remember what it was now, but I traded it. But I didn't. Kelly Bear, when I first met with Kelly Bear and went to her house back in 2018, we trimmed this. We trimmed it down. And if anybody has ever bought a reading from me, this is the deck that I use for reading. So it's well used and well loved. I had Christine from Bunny Kisses make a box with my favourite card from the deck, which is the Two of Swords. I love the coloration and shading of this Two of Swords. And she put a little hermit on the inside for me. So, yeah, these cards are really lovely in terms of the shading and coloration. So what they did, they pulled these, didn't tell anybody, and changed them to a kind of bog standard RWS. Kept the box almost identical. So let's have a look. Gosh, Oh, here we go. So, original box, empty because the cards are there. And you can see there's a there's a shading in the yellow. It's not flat yellow. The table is brown. Then they just changed the very slight change of the box. Flat yellow, bright red cloak, and a red table rather than a brown table. And that's the only way you could tell the difference. But of course, everybody was getting these because they was ordering them. And they was like, woohoo, you know, I've got one. And when they opened them up, yes, this is the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot. They were just regular. And the backs were zoomed in. So this is the original back, which I think has something like 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this one has 8 rows. So yeah, people were really disappointed, as you can imagine. Lots of people wrote to Lo Scarabeo at the time, and they said, well, we're bringing it back, the original one, next year. But what they didn't tell people till much later was that it was brought back as the Radiant Wise Spirit, which is a little bit naughty, isn't it? Because RWS Tarot, Radiant Wise Spirit, rather than Rider-Waite Smith. So, so that's what happened. But so many people were disappointed because now it was borderless. So lots of people like that. It was like, yay, borderless. But they were ultra glossy. The backs were zoomed in more. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows. Not that that makes a difference really, but it was just to show the different variations of it. Still the same nice coloration, although there was a few blotches in it. I quite like it. I don't mind it. It's a nice size deck, and I don't mind. I prefer matte. But even the original wasn't that matte, it was more silky, whereas this is very heavily laminated. Oh, this makes my head hurt. Yeah, I know what you mean, to keep on top of it. So then they announced that they're bringing out the mini, and everybody was like, wow, will it be a mini of this? Because the very early pictures showed that there was a border, which of course, the original Pamela Coleman Smith has a border. It's just that I chopped mine off. So, happy to report that the mini RWS Radiant Y Spirit is a mini version of the original Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot. This is why it gets confusing. So it's a mini version of this, but it's not got the heavy lamination, and it's got the same nice cardstock as the Pamela Coleman Smith. But this is what I was saying the other night when I was on Robin's channel, helping him to celebrate his channel anniversary. You know, deck creators and publishers do listen. You know, I've had that from both Schiffer and US Games. They do watch videos. Of course they do. They've got marketing departments. They want to know how their products are coming across. But this box is lovely. So it has a linen feel. It's 2-part box. Really sturdy. So we've not had a 2-part box before for Pamela Coleman Smith, or, tell a lie, is a 2-part, but it's a lift top one. And then the other, of course, is tuck box, which is my least favourite type of box. Aren't the images in the full-size Radiant Wise stretched a little as well? Yes, they are a little, to get that borderless. Yeah. I don't think it's anything that's too off-putting for me, but do you have a video on all your mini decks? No, I don't. I could have done that, couldn't I, as part of one of the quarantine stream videos. Jen, hello, Jen the taxidermy witch. You've dropped the at the end. Lovely to see you. Nice to see your beautiful face, and nice to see you. How have you been? Hermit's Cave. Simon, I want to know if you know about Patrick Valenza's playing cards. Very similar to Deviant Moon. I've got them. I've got both versions of his playing cards. So Royal Mischief is what you're talking about, isn't it? Yeah, I've got the independent one that he did a few years ago, and then I bought the US Games version. And I actually prefer the US Games version because it's more characterized. All of the pips are scenic, whereas in the indie it's just the courts and you've just got nice fancy pips. So yeah, 2-part box, lovely, sturdy. We have to do the knock, remember? The lovely sturdy box. You get a little white book. Will it be multiple languages? Yes. So it's tiny and multiple languages. We get 12, no, we don't get 12 pages, we get less. I think we get 7. Yeah, we get 7 pages. That's all of that. Oh, they're shrink wrapped. This is cute. I'm so happy to have this. Simon did a walkthrough on all his tarot in the tins from US Games. I think that covers a lot of them. Yeah, I did. But there also, I've got lots of mini decks as well, like Everyday Witch now. And mini decks seem to be the rage at the moment. We was talking about this on the Tarot Times. Lots of people, lots of publishers bringing out mini decks. Next World. Of course, they're not new. You know, I've got my Blue Box mini, which is from the early 1970s. So the little Blue Box mini. And obviously to go with it, there's a Yellow Box mini as well, which is also a Blushing Fall. So, you know, they're not new, but they are becoming quite popular again. And I think the tarot in a tin, the US Games tarot in a tin, they're actually a little bit larger than these mini ones. Cardstock is really nice. Really nice. Interestingly, the different backs again, because you're not getting a whole row. The border is cutting into the cards. You've got the Lo Scarabeo, Bayo, I should say, in the background of the box. And it says, Radiant Wise, Spirit, Tarot, Arthur Edward Waite, Pamela Coleman Smith, 78 tarot cards with instructions. So, and on here, it's $13.95. I think I paid £9 for these. But they are lovely. I love the kind of the atmospheric. Now these, just to make it more confusing, but if you're going to be part of the community, you'll hear it. These are referred to as the Dirty Pam as well. Dirty Pam didn't really stick with the Radiant Wise, but the Pamela Coleman Smith tarot, and it was Kelly Bear actually in one of my lives, a couple of catch-up and cards like you're here today, a few years ago, called it the Dirty Pam, and everybody laughed, and then it stuck. And Kelly's like, you know, I can't believe that kind of stuck after a joke. She's like, I kind of want that on my headstone. The person who called the deck the Dirty Pam. So I won't show them all, but I really like them. You don't get Pixie's calligraphy because it's Lo Scarabeo. It's not US Games or an independent producer. I keep saying producer, publisher. There's the Hermit. I hope I'm not missing any comments. Small hands need small decks, and these are perfect. These are nice again, you know, for throwing in a travel bag or a work bag. They're going to be nice and protected by the sturdy box. I've got a mini RWS in my travel altar. I'm just debating whether to swap it up for this. I kind of want it out on display, so I'll probably get another one. Now they're getting a bit easier to get. But if you want the card quality of the Dirty Pam, the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot, that remind me to tell you about the Five of Pentacles after this, and the Discovery in the Hermit's Cave this week. Then I would recommend getting this because the cards are gorgeous. And here's my Two of Wands. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, it's a really lovely deck. And I'm glad they didn't bring it as that glossy Radiant Wise. So if anybody from Lo Scarabeo is watching this, can't you re-release the original Dirty Pam? Even call it the Dirty Pam. We don't mind. Look above at Pat Spain. Look above at Pat Spain. Two of Swords, she says. Oh, the Hermit's Cave. When you get disappointed on tarots you purchase, what is the feeling you get in the sense that you keep it as a collectible, but you ever feel the need of getting rid of them? Some decks I've gotten rid of. It's not very often that I will get a disappointed feeling because I know when I order it that it's one I'm going to like. But that said, I guess there are some decks, particularly early on, that I bought because when I joined the community, I felt like I had to play catch up and get all these decks. And some of them I kind of got carried away and thought, oh wow, everybody's talking about that deck. Dreams of Gaia springs to mind. And then if it's not jiving with me anymore, then I'll trade it. I'll trade it or give it away or whatever. So yeah, but I won't keep them just, well, would I? If it became collectible, if I'm honest, I might keep it because then I can trade for a really nice deck. So I traded my Golden Rider, which was very collectible, because, you know, I was able to then get a Carol Hertzer deck, which she sells at $125. So yeah. Yeah, so who was it? Was it? I want to say Michelle. Yes, it was Michelle. In the Hermit's Cave this week, made a discovery. So I'll need 2 decks. Giant decks will work better. Oh no! Tarot Jenga. And I can't. If I let go, can you see this? If I let go, they're all going to come crashing down. Hold on. This is going to happen one day. Oh my goodness. Jen's Balanced Tarot strikes again. Yeah, times 100. They just like all went forward. So, yellow box, US Games. You might have seen this anyway. But Michelle posted saying, hold on, when did this happen? Melissa, you will know because Melissa is the queen of yellow boxes in US Games and RWS. She discovered in the Five of Pentacles that US Games had put here US Games. So USGS, US Games System. Can you see that? US Games System. But, and I guess it's so that people don't copy, or if they do copy, they can be exposed as not copying from the original plates, they're copying from a later edition. Take this doesn't appear. Nothing there. So if I put them side by side, you see the difference. US game system, nothing. How cool, USGS. Because it's AGM Urania. Exactly, Pat. And so then we started thinking, well, how long has that been there? You know, because US Games have been producing decks for like ever. It's not in my old US. So everybody was like, well, it will just be a new thing. But that's not true either, because US Games this year in 2020 released, oh, okay, only on the giant decks. Why is that then, Melissa? Why is that? Because, yeah, I was going to say, oh, these have fallen everywhere now. This one, which was released a few months ago, which is their latest yellow box, which has gone back to having Pix's Pix's font, calligraphy, doesn't have it at all. So it's just on the giant ones. I wonder why. And how many giant ones have they had? See, this is 2010, this one. This giant one is from 2010. It's so people can't get away with, yes, that's what we're saying, you know. And if they do, they can easily be exposed, can't they? Because they've got that hidden there. Although we've made it public now. But, yeah, but really cool. And I wonder if it appears anywhere else. Because it's really hard to spot because it's a really busy card, isn't it? Particularly all those details around. So I wonder if there's anything else within cards. It got me thinking, trying to find hidden messages within decks. Do we know of any others? Because that sort of thing just fascinates me. Melissa said they've made a few micro changes to various cards on various decks as ways to identify and prove that counterfeiters are using their decks. It helps them pin down the source. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just thought it was weird. I love stuff like that. That's why a lot of the counterfeiters are trying to use US Games decks from the 1970s. Those look, yes, exactly. But, I mean, counterfeiters can now probably get hold of, you know, with like the study deck that's out there, there's going to be ways of counterfeiting the very early PAM A, PAM Bs, isn't there? So, English Magic Tarot has Enochian alphabet writing in it. They snuck that in. It's like, looks for where is Waldo? Yeah, or over here we call it where's Wally. But same character. But yeah, and it just, if we know of any more, do post them into the Hermit's Cave, because I just love finding little secret hidden things. Just bear with me 1 second. I had to preheat my oven at 5 p.m. because I've got a very tight window between now and the next live to cook, eat, and everything. So, anything else to tell you? Looked at Radiant Wise, we looked at the Provo, we've looked at the tin, talked about the tattoo bomb. So, tonight is a really busy night for YouTube. I say night like you're all in the UK. Today is a really busy day. So I'm going to be doing a live at 8 p.m, which is 3 hours from now, on my channel, and I'm going to be joined by Heidi, the lovely Heidi from Heidi Did What, and Will from Atypical Tarot, because we are all ex-members of the Mormon Church and the Mormon faith, and we've all got experiences. And we thought it'd be interesting to talk about those experiences and our individual paths, because we are quite individual as well, obviously, but you know what I mean, in terms of our life choices and paths, and how each of us were discriminated in some way, or felt that we, whilst we're in the church, bought into certain things that we might not buy into now, in terms of justifying some things that are quite unjust. So we're going to have a discussion about our experiences of the church, leaving the church, and how we've ended up where we are now within the realm of tarot and working with tarot. So that will be 8 p.m. For about an hour tonight. And then the lovely Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension will be interviewing our Jennifer Rodriguez from Jen's Balanced Tarot. So I'm really looking forward to that, because Jen is, as you know, and you've seen Jen here in my home in the Hermit's Cave. Jen is a very dear friend of mine, so I'm really looking forward to her interview. And Jen was great. She asked Rochelle to push the interview back half an hour, just so that, you know, things don't overrun and lap. So if you've got links, then do put them in. Obviously you don't need a link to the Hermit's Cave because you're here, but to Rochelle's channel or to the interview. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. What's in 30 minutes? It's going to be so good, Simon. I've addressed leaving Christianity on my channel, and it can be healing to talk about it. Exactly. And, you know, when I interviewed Will, I had no idea that he was ex-Mormon. I did know about Heidi. I know about other people. I'm not going to name them because they haven't given me permission to name them. But even other members of the community who aren't content creators, who have had a path within the Mormon Church as well. So that's going to be tonight at 8 o'clock. Hi, Patsy. Good to see you. Yeah, so busy day, busy night for YouTube, but it should be gone. Pushed it back 30 minutes, not an hour. Oh, did I say an hour? Sorry. Yeah, so you was going on at 9, you're now going on at 9:30. So yeah, brilliant. And obviously work out the maths on that. 4:30 Eastern time, 1:30 Pacific time. Don't be late, Dad. Well, I'd be early, wouldn't I? If I thought it'd been pushed back an hour. Oh, no, I wouldn't. No, I'd be late. Maths isn't my forte. Clearly, I turn up late for everything at the minute. Get him, Shane. Don't you kids start picking on me. 4.5 hours time. Exactly, Jackie. 4.5 hours time from now. So 3 hours to the live on the Hermit's Cave with Will and Heidi. 4.5 hours from now, Amethyst Ascension interviewing the lovely Jen. Love you, Dar. So, anything else? I'm basically done in things I've got to update you with, other than to mention the giveaway. So, during the week, I did a walkthrough of the Mary L. Tarot, 2nd edition, which was sent to me by Schiffer, well, Red Feather, Schiffer. There was a bit of a mix-up about where it was coming from, and we realised that there could potentially be 2 copies being sent. So this isn't me. This is actually a gift from Schiffer themselves, because what they've said is, give it away, do a giveaway on your channel. So big up to Schiffer Red Feather, because I have a brand new unopened copy of the 2nd edition of the Mary L. Tarot. for those of you who may not have seen the walkthrough yet, I'm going to show you a wrong deck of cards. They're beautiful. They have this beautiful silver gilding, and they're now matte and borderless. And the artwork is just stunning. Absolutely stunning artwork. So all you have to do if you want to win this copy, best Emperor card ever, just saying, is not here in the chat, but in the main comment section under the video. Just put that you want to be entered into the draw. Nothing more fancy than that. Just say that you'd like to be entered. And next weekend, I'm doing an interview with Lou Valcourt. I'm really excited because Lou was one of the very first channels I ever found, and she's partly responsible for me being sat here now. So that is next week. I will list everybody's name who wants to be entered and give you a number, and then I'll ask Lou just to pull a random number at the end of the chat, and then whoever that is will be entered, will win the deck. So if you want to win the Mary L. Tarot 2nd edition, then courtesy of Red Feather Schiffer, I will cover the cost of postage, obviously. So it's kind of like a joint giveaway. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, I will send this deck on to you. I love Lou. I love Lou too. She's great. And I can't even remember what her original channel name was. It wasn't her name. But it's because I've watched her now for a good 4.5 years. I've forgotten what she was originally. So yeah, so that's a bit of a giveaway. If you want to enter, just let me know in the comments after this is uploaded, when you can put in the comments. And we'll do that next week. All right, any final questions before I wrap up? Okay, I'll send you my address. Yeah, you've got to be in the draw. But if your name is pulled, then you will win it. Hermit's Cave. Lou used to be called something like Tarot Parlour. Can't remember now. Yeah, it wasn't Tarot Parlour when I was there. I could still hear the music. It was very sort of grungy rock music when the videos used to start. But really cool. Hi Kay. In your table drawer, more interesting. In your table drawer. It's been nice to have a proper catch up. Yes, it feels like it's been ages. It can't have been ages. It can only have been 2 weeks ago. But it feels like ages since a catch up. Imagine opening Simon's table drawers. You wouldn't want to open these drawers. One is filled, the top one is filled with pens and staplers and markers for edging decks. The second one is full of incense, and the third one has got all tea lights and candles and stuff in. So nothing too exciting. And behind in videos. Did you say you're going to pull a card? I did, Jackie. I'm delaying it because I'm very nervous about it. I'm so used to pulling tarot or oracle cards, but yeah, we'll have a go with some playing cards. You're welcome, But White. You've been 5 minutes here. Stay longer. I've been an hour and 10 minutes. An hour and 10 minutes, and I'm back at 8. As Jen's just said, hearing you, what? Chitch battling while cleaning my kitchen. Oh, chit-chatting. Chit-chatting. I've never seen that as one word before. Chit-baiting. Simon, I'll watch this back as I've only been here a few minutes. No worries, Kay. Can I say when you stop shuffling? Yes, you can, Pat. Remember, there's about a 20-second delay, though. Stop! And I'm going to split the deck. I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, they go in order, actually. So, first card is the Ace of Clubs. So, the Ace is about new beginnings. It's about starts. Clubs is associated with wands. So, that's our passions. That's the things, the kind of the artistic side of us, the things that drives us. So, new beginnings, about something that we're going to be really passionate about. We'll then add in 4 of Hearts. So to be able to, this is challenging me, isn't it? To be able to have that new beginning, we need to make sure that we're stable on an emotional level, because 4 is about stability. Hearts are our cups, which are our emotions. So, you know, we can have those dreams, that spark, that desire, that drive, but we need to make sure we're in a good place as well for that to be successful. So let's make sure on an emotional level, we are feeling pretty secure and pretty stable. And then we have the 7 of Diamonds. 7 is new growth, going in a new direction. With the 5, you get that disruption that we get with a 5. The 6 is the settling down, going into harmony. 7 is new growth. So this, whatever it is, even though it might be something that makes us really excited and passionate, it's going to have a benefit in our material world. Because, you know, this is the earth, this is diamonds, this is pentacles. So that new direction, that new growth that we're going into, our life is going to be benefited. It's going to expand on a material level. So that passion, that drive, making sure we're in a good place emotionally, will bring about prosperity for us, which will impact on our everyday life. You know, it could be a project about doing up our home. It could be about going for promotion at work. This is all home work, you know, base stuff that we need in our life. So let's start. We've got that idea that excites us, it ignites us. Make sure we're in a good place emotionally, and then go for it. New growth. So, thank you, everybody, for being here. I feel really nervous. Isn't that daft? I've read cards for an hour long, but I felt really nervous with that. Yeah. Thank you for being here today. Really enjoyed having a chat with you all. Amazing turnout. So, always love me Cuppa catch-ups with you guys. Even though I swap things about, like Throwback Thursday ends or quarantine ends, Cuppa catch-up and cards will always be a constant, because it's my way to connect with you and just see how you're doing in a relaxed atmosphere over a cuppa and just have some fun and talk about our favourite things. So thank you for being here. See you all hopefully at 8 p.m. back here with Will and Heidi to talk about our experiences within the Mormon faith. And until then, as always, look after yourselves, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.